What's up guys, this is my second video on my Fantasy Premier League preview for the new season, and this is just for my thoughts on the best player to work for money and value and rating and all that stuff for each individual Premier League team. And for this you're going to need to know just a few different formulas. Okay, now value is equal to points from the previous season divided by their price at the start of this season. Yeah? Okay, that's the first one. Okay, the next one is MPP, or minutes per point, which is basically however many minutes they played last season divided by how many points they got last season. It just shows you how long it took them to get 1 point on average in the season. Yeah, and the next and final one is PPM, or points per minute. This just shows on average how many points they get in a minute. The range is quite small and it's actually in decimals. It's normally like 0.03 or 0.07 for example, but it just gives you a different idea compared to the MPP rating. And now I'm just going to show you the spreadsheet of the list of players I compiled. What's up guys, this is just a selection of the best player on the stats for each of the Premier League teams. And you can see I can start here with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he has a very low rated value, red, because he's worth 7.5 at the start of the season and he only scored 40 points last season. But that's just going on last season's stats, and obviously if he plays more consistently this season, his price will reflect how many points he gets, as it shows here. His minutes per point is very low. Every 14 minutes he gets a point, and every minute he gets 0.07 points. So there you go. That's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, one of the better ones for MPP and PPM for Arsenal last season. Stephen Ireland of Aston Villa, although his three statistics are all red, it is simply because they were, comparatively with the rest of the league, which I have one over here, quite bad. But for Aston Villa he had the best. So if you're going to choose someone from Aston Villa, I think you should go with Ireland, because his price is only 5.5, and although he only got 59 points last season, his value is 10. So it's not, although it's a red symbol, it's not as bad as it could be. And obviously again, if he plays more this season and gets more points, then the value will be better. Minutes per point 26, so on the lower scale of the players selected, but still best in Aston Villa. Next we got Benayoun, who was on loan at Arsenal, but he is at Chelsea currently. If he is to be loaned out or transferred again before the season starts, that's too bad, but I've included him in my Chelsea rank here. And his value is still red because he's rated at 6.5 and only got 60 points last season, but his minutes per point was 15. So every 15 minutes he'd get a point while he was playing for Arsenal last season, which is very good, very good. Yeah, similar to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's in that sense, but his value is much better. Next we have Philip Jagielka of Everton. He played loads of minutes last season. He got over 100 points though, but his price is fairly low for a defender. So all that included, he is a decent value for money, but his minutes per point is quite high. But then again, it is one of the better ones for Everton, and his points per minute is quite low, but still middle compared to the rest of the players in this table here. So that's Jagielka. If I was going to choose a player from Everton, it would be Philip Jagielka. Next we have Dempsey from Fulham, who played loads of minutes last season, 3,300, which is most of the games in the Premier League. He was the top scoring midfielder, 209 points, and that makes his value 22, which is very good because his price is 9.5 and he made 200 points last season. So there you go, 22, and his minutes per point was quite low as well, 15.9, which is amazing. But he played 3,000 minutes and averaged 15 minutes per point, which is amazing. Whereas Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain managed a point every 14 minutes, but he only played 500. There you go. So if they were both to play the same amount of minutes, the stats would say that Chamberlain would score more points. But that's just how it was last season. For Liverpool, we have Jose Enrique, who played a lot of minutes again, 3,000 almost, got just over 100 as a defender. Liverpool didn't concede a lot of goals last season, so he did get a lot of points for clean sheets. His price is only 6, and compared with the other two stats, his value is very high, 19 in fact. So considering the points he gets compared to how much he costs this season, he is a good buy in my opinion, and probably the best one for Liverpool. He did only, however, get a point every 25 minutes compared to the rest of the players in this table is quite bad, but still I think it was good, the best one for Liverpool. Kolo Toure, not Yaya Toure, for Manchester City. You might be wondering why I chose Toure, but all the other players in Manchester City are quite high priced, and Toure is one of the lower priced players. And he only played just under 900 minutes last season. So putting all that together, for Manchester City, his value is 7.3. Players like Aguero, they all have a much higher value, similar to Dempsey's. But since Toure is only rated 5.5, he can sit in your sub bench or even in your first team, and whenever he does play, he will get a good amount of points. Every 21 minutes, in fact, he will get a point. So if you're going to pick a low-priced Manchester City player, in fact he's one of the lowest, I reckon you go for Kolo Toure. Next, for Manchester United, we have Phil Jones, who played just over 2,000 minutes of Premier League football last season, accumulated over 100 points in his first full season in a top club, and his price is only 6. So all that included, if he's going to be playing first team for Manchester United again this season, then I say go out and put him in your team. 18 value, that is amazing. Considering he's only worth 6. He did get a point every 19 minutes, which is, in my opinion, where it should be. Again, if you look at points per minute, 0.05, it is an average score. So he's a very valuable player, and his minutes per point, and points per minute are both average. Therefore, if you're going to choose a Man United player, you could go for him. Next, we move on to Berbatov. Two Man United players, because Berbatov is a special case. He only played 500 minutes last season, and he made 50 points. His value is only 7 because he only got 50 points, and his price is 7. But he scored a point every 10 minutes he was on the field. That is just amazing. Amazing. One of the best in the Premier League, in fact. He barely played for Manchester United and scored a fair amount of goals. Well, a fair amount of goals within the time period he was selected. And it's really a case of if you have him in the squad and he plays, then he will get you a good point return. But if he's not playing and he's just sitting on the bench, then he's wasting your money because he's highly rated at 7, where most other 7-rated players are normally playing week in, week out. So if Berbatov moves to another club, I reckon, and he plays first team football consistently, then he should be in your squad, no doubt about it. Okay, we have Simpson from Newcastle, who played over 3,000 minutes again. A lot of minutes for a player, but he did get over 100 points. He's only rated 5, so his value is very high, 23. For a 5-rated player who got over 100 points, there you go, it adds up. He was one of the better ones in Newcastle, 26 points per minute. I chose him because he had a good value, as well as the points per minute rating. Obviously you've got players like Cabaye and Barr and Cisse who must have had a very high minutes per point ratio, but their price is quite high, so that messes up their value. Morrison of West Bromwich Albion played just over 2,000 minutes. He did get over 130 points, which is amazing considering he plays for West Bromwich Albion, who aren't exactly a top table team, but they're still a consistent squad. He's only priced at 5.5, which makes his value the highest so far I've been down this list. In fact, the highest in this list at 25, because if he plays the entire season, he will get you over 100 points, almost guaranteed. He does score a point every 15 minutes, which is fantastic considering he's only rated at 5.5. So he's got 2 greens and an orange and a yellow, which makes him a must in your team if you feel that you want a consistent amount of points over the season. This is Cisse of QPR, and he only played 530 minutes, but he scored about 6 goals, 36 points he made. and his price is 6.5, so his value is not very good. But he has one of the lowest minutes per point. So if he's on the pitch, he's gonna be getting the points. If he's on the bench, he's not gonna be. So it's really whether you select him at the right time or not. Hopefully you get it right at the right time. Peter Crouch played loads of minutes for Stoke, got over 130 points, which is very good, and he's only priced at 6.5. So all that included, his value is quite high because just look at the stat: 6.5. He only cost you 6.5 million pounds and got you over 130 points. Not as good as Morrison, but he's a striker at the end of the day, and it all equates to constant goals and points from Crouch. Connor Wickham was one of the better ones from Sunderland I could choose. There wasn't a lot to choose from, particularly as Bentner went back to Arsenal. So yeah, he didn't play a lot of game minutes, but he got 24 points, which I thought was okay. All that together, his price is 5.5, so that makes his value quite low, and his minutes per point were quite high. But like I said, he's an average player, but he's playing for Sunderland, so that's sort of the best they had at the time. Nathan Dyer of Swansea, I think he's an excellent player. He played most of the games for them this season, got a fair amount of points, and as you can see, because he got that many points and he only cost that much, his value is quite high. So if you put him in your team, he will give you a good return at a low price, which is exactly what value basically stands for. Yes, he is under 20 on minutes per point, which is very good. But he's sort of on the cusp of being one of the lower minute rate players. Yeah. Next we've got Jermaine Defoe, who didn't play that much for Tottenham this year. Only 1,300 minutes. Got just under 100 points, which is pretty good. He's valued at his price is 7.5, which means his value in the middle at 12.3. He scored joint second most points in the least time. So for every 14 minutes he would earn you a point, and in Barclays Premier League fantasy football, that is very valuable indeed. So he had a quite high points per minute of 0.07, same as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Benayoun and Morrison and Cisse. So he was pretty good for Tottenham. I could have chose Bale or Adebayor or anyone else, but their price compared to their points does put their value much more down. So I went for Defoe as my pick for Tottenham. Okay, that's all I've got time for. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to check below in the description for my Fantasy Premier League league code for you to join and play against me over the season. I look forward to seeing if anyone joins. I won't be too pissed off if no one doesn't, to be honest. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.